All right. Welcome to another episode of GenX Guys with JD and Len.
Hey. So how you doing? How's everything?
It's great. It's great. Just had a nice trip out to Chicago and back. So
how's the weather?
The weather out there, compared to last time when I went in January, was minus 14 degrees. This time it was much nicer. It was about 60s. I think in the nighttime it was like mid 40s, low 50s. So I did bring a thin jacket. But really, no, it was fine. Weather was good. Yeah. No winds, really.
Nice early spring weather.
Yeah, basically. There was a little bit of rain probably on the last day I was there.
Okay.
When I flew out. Of course, like everyone else, flying sucks. So there was a 2-hour delay heading out of Chicago for me.
It's been bad. Even when we came back from your daughter's wedding from Vegas, we had trouble getting there and getting back. Not major, but there were definitely delays.
You had trouble getting to the airport?
Getting in, yeah.
Our flying to Vegas.
Flying. Just the flight part. So not getting to the airport. Yeah, the flying. Our original flight was delayed almost 2 hours, and it was funny because it went up to like 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it went back to 2 hours, which I don't think I've ever. I don't know if I've ever experienced them going back to an original time. I don't know if I've ever actually had that happen.
Oh, that happened to James once actually. Luckily, we got notified beforehand that it's been delayed, but we still got him there a little early, and then suddenly the flight was back on time.
Yeah, that's almost what happened to us. It didn't go 100% back to time. It was still delayed like an hour, but they had moved it to 2 hours delayed, and then about 3 hours before the flight, they said it was only an hour delayed. We were well ahead of schedule because we had my in-laws with us, so we always give ourselves at least an extra hour just to because we had to get the wheelchair access and everything. But yeah, it was just.
So you're one of the early groups that walk on with those who need help getting on the plane?
Yeah. Well, actually, my wife goes with them. I mean, usually I stay behind or whatever, but it just depends on who's with us.
Why?
But
your kids are old enough. Ditch them.
Yeah, it's true.
Then you get your overhead. You're not worried about
it. Thankfully, I always end up paying for more priority boarding, so I don't go. I go in the earlier group, maybe not the earliest group, but I think we were boarding group like number 3, so that was.
Oh, what'd you fly?
Southwest. It was the first time I flew Southwest in. I don't remember.
With
at least
assigned seating too.
With assigned seating,
first time ever.
Yeah. So it went. I mean, it went smoothly. We didn't have an issue. But again, I ended up paying like the extra $20 for the flight per person, so we would get priority boarding. And again, it's really just to, like you said, to get the overhead bin.
Right.
But yeah. And actually, speaking of like Southwest, did you hear about Spirit Airlines?
Yeah, they're basically shuttering everything today.
Yep. Everything is just.
I saw an article where JetBlue is trying to pick up the slack. So all these airlines are now going to try and pick up the route slack by Spirit.
Yeah.
And so JetBlue, I guess, has 11 new routes that they just implemented from Fort Lauderdale today to pick up for all the Spirit. So, yeah, it sucks actually for all the people who were booking. Yeah. If I were them and I'd heard even the possibility yesterday that it might go under, I would have canceled quickly to get a refund because
these all got refunds, but it's a reimbursement for the inconvenience. If no matter what happens, they're not going to get anything for hotels.
Well, it's never guaranteed they'll get a refund if an airline goes under because that's their problem. True. They had no money.
Well, they've said that everybody will get a refund, but that's valid. That's a valid, but no. But I think your point is valid.
Yeah, that's the challenge I would be most concerned about. It's like, if that's the case, probably want to cancel my flight on this airline. Not that I've ever rode on Spirit before, nor had I ever had any plans to.
No,
but it's still crazy to think that. I know they've been trying hard to get picked up, but
it's been years. It's been a long time coming. I mean, people are saying because definitely the fuel prices probably was the final nail, but if it didn't happen, it would have happened in the next few months, regardless of what the fuel prices were, the cost of fuel. It was happening no matter what.
Well, it's a low-budget airline, so it's one of the cheaper ones, but you get what you pay for, right? So if you want to pick seats or even put an overhead, that's all extras that all add up. Yeah. If you just straight up say, give me a seat somewhere, and that's all I need, then Spirit works.
And I think to your point, I never flew them. I never really had them as a consideration. You know, there's a little bit of privilege in that where, like I said, I paid extra on Southwest for the priority boarding. I mean, so
Right.
but there are people who wouldn't be able to fly without that. Like, you know, they don't have the option that we do to pay a
Right.
little bit extra for things, and it sucks that they now lose that option. And even for us, it takes away a budget option that might have kept prices a little bit lower. Where now people where you have less supply, in other words, less seats, and now but the demand's not going to change too much. So, I mean, I think it's bad for travelers like us that
Right.
it's gonna raise prices for other things. So, it's unfortunate. I mean, and again, I think it's unfortunate mainly for the people that won't be able to fly because it's not a financial option for them anymore. But I think as a whole, it just means that we all have one less option. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Well,
somebody else will pick up the slack. There's like Frontier and other low budget ones, so hopefully they're able to expand or whatever. Hopefully, but we'll see.
well, yeah. Southwest is technically one of the more cheaper ones too, but with now the seating choice and everything, I don't know how that changes because now they're also offering different seat selections as far as cost, similar to what you were
Mhm.
mentioning earlier. But that actually, now that you mentioned this, I started thinking real quick. Okay, what airlines? I mean, a lot of airlines have come and gone over the
Mhm.
decades, but more so from the '80s. Like I remember, obviously, Pan Am
Of
and
course.
TWA are two big ones right off the bat.
Continental was one I always remember.
Continental, another which joined with United, and that's why United has the
Yeah,
Continental symbol.
yeah, that symbol, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like,
But
when did Pan Am go away? And they went away in '91, and
oh,
they
wow.
were a big one. They were one of the early ones, I think.
Yeah,
And then TWA, which you always considered right or wrong. I mean, I always associated TWA with hijacks and
unfortunately, yeah,
terrorists.
yeah,
They
yeah.
lasted until the 2000s actually before they finally went defunct.
How
Interestingly
much I
enough.
mean, I didn't really start even flying though until, like I can honestly say that. I think maybe it was just because of with the kids and everything, and also we only went to LA. Like, we didn't
Yeah,
really travel far, so I the only time I ever really traveled on a plane, to be honest, was, like, to a convention or something for work, you
true.
know?
Same,
Like,
same.
maybe it just I didn't fly very much back then. So,
No,
I don't really remember that type of stuff. It wasn't really until, like, maybe the last 10, 15 years that I actually started really traveling.
right.
Maybe more, even 10 years. I wouldn't even say it's 15, which is,
Yeah,
you know, it's a big switch, but I'm just saying I don't remember. I think I remember those because, like you said, there's TWA. You unfortunately remember for that reason. I mean, you know, Continental, I wanna say my sister-in-law worked for them. So I always remember them more based upon, things like that, you know, like Pan Am is just well, fuck, Pan Am was Pan Am. I mean, it was when I think of air travel, Pan Am is probably the biggest one that I remember from, like, historically,
yeah.
but, you
Well,
know,
and Howard
United,
Hughes was a big. I think he did Pan Am, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think it was the crash, based on what my crack staff has pulled together. It was a crash back in like '89 that basically sent them down the path of financial loss because they had to pay out
really?
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the '88 Lockerbie crash, basically. And of course, other financial struggles. But that any crash
Yeah.
never helps because all the people who die, first and foremost, it already impacts the family. So they're going to get money from the airlines who have to pay for that.
The
But then the
public
impact
perception,
also of that happening now, the fear of ever flying any other planes.
which is a
So,
weird one. I mean, I think the whole Boeing issues that we've had over the past, like, 2 years are way more concerning when it comes to an airline. But I
right.
mean, I think, you know, you think about maintenance and things like that, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I just never been one of those that fears flying like that. It just it's irrational, like, you know, like, the likelihood of a plane crash is ex like, absurdly low.
Right.
You know, even back then with Pan Am and so on, but it's just but, you know, but again, it's one of those things that just when you think about an industry where if it meant that you might put off a vacation or you change 1 or 2 vacation plans, but when you scale that to 1,000,000 families, that's when it starts to affect an industry, so,
Right.
yeah,
It's funny. I was
it's
trying to
something
think, like,
common.
I feel like the movie Airplane played off of Pan Am a little bit, or it was a TWA.
Yeah.
Either way, they had sort of an odd similarity to it, which is always funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting just to see the diverse. Like Hawaiian obviously is now owned by Alaskan, and they're slowly moving away. Like I love Hawaiian Airlines. One, because I go to Hawaii, but two, the ambiance of it itself has always been nice. That's what I liked about Virgin Airlines was the ambiance behind
it had a certain feel.
Yeah. And then again, they were bought by Alaskan as well, right? Was it Virgin? Alaskan bought Virgin, I think. I'm certain, but
anyway,
either way, but all these ones that add this ambiance, this unique style to them, to then get sucked up by another carrier, it's like, do they keep that? And like Hawaiian Airlines, like they'll still keep some of the Hawaiian Airline planes in flight, but
it's going to sound the same feel.
How long? Yeah.
I mean, I think when you look at because we've noticed that going on international trips, you can see the distinct difference in just terms of feel between which one did we do for Japan? But I mean, even the budget one, Zip Air, we did for Japan and JAL, and then Korean Airlines, and then Singapore Airlines. They all have a very distinct feel that you could tell, like you said, it makes it a unique experience. And so there's becoming to be like you said, flying Hawaii, you want to take Hawaiian. It's just, it gets you in the mood for it. It gets you into that feel before you even get there, because I've flown it a few times myself, and it plays the music. It has, how the staff on the plane dress and everything like that. It just gets you into that mood beforehand. But even for the international, like I said, there's just everyone has a little bit of a different level of service and a little different feel. And so it kind of, and I get even the, the budget, or I just want the most basic plan. And sometimes, you have to kind of make that judgment yourself. Like, because sometimes for some of the, like Singapore Airlines, you pay a premium for the plane. But again, for the experience, I think it's worth it.
Well, yeah, and people always talk about how the experience from an airline experience, airplanes back in the obviously 50s and 60s, people dressed up. Like it was a full-on experience to go flying. First off, it's costly, but if you did go in, everybody was in suits, dresses, all this stuff. Like they took it as a serious and a fancy experience, right?
Right.
Now nobody cares. I mean, it's just a form of travel, and so people come dressed however they want: shorts, PJs, suits, whatever you want to. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
And I always hear some people go, "I wish the old experience was back." I'm like, well, if you want that, then they'd have to require you to dress up, right? So all that would have to be in place. It's not going to happen. No.
I mean, I get the idea that people don't like. I mean, I think we talked about this before, but like somebody like you at your height, you have to worry about. Like I don't look to see really so much like how much legroom somebody has. I mean, at 5'8", it's just not a major concern for me. At your height, of course, it's something you have to worry about.
Right.
But I think people forget to realize that that if we had that type of seating, if everybody had at minimum like economy plus, right? Mm-hmm. Or, whatever the right before you get to business or first class, depending upon international or domestic, that, I mean, the cost of each ticket would go up accordingly. I mean, there's no getting away from that. And so it's like, but again, that's why you have options. That's why you don't have to fly Spirit. You don't have to fly Frontier or, how Southwest used to be. You can fly United. You can fly, like I said, if you want to travel internationally comfortably, you can fly Singapore, but you're going to pay a premium for that. And so it's always funny because you always see these things, especially on social media, where people say that, oh, we need to get back to this. It's like, those tickets back then in the 70s are the same price as they are today. Not counting for inflation, the same exact price. That's why part of the reason why growing up, we never flew. Like the idea of flying was
expensive as shit. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't fly in the 80s. I don't remember ever taking
We were literally driving to Montana for events instead of flying.
We drove everywhere. Yeah. I took a fucking bus. I took Greyhound to Ohio from San Francisco to Cleveland. A bus.
Right. I mean, it's dreary on both ends. One, it's a bus, and then it's Cleveland. Like, it's a disappointment on both sides right there. I agree.
Yeah, it pretty much is. But it kind of reminds me of those things. People will say those things like, what could Gen Z not handle that we handled? And I say this all the time with my kids, and I think the biggest one is long drives without a screen.
Oh, easily.
Like you said, you're going to Montana. Let's say you're driving for a day and a half or 2 days straight, right? Looking out the window. That's all you're doing. Not being occupied by a screen at all. Not Game Boy, not no internet. I'm talking about no fucking screens whatsoever.
Right.
Just
maybe you have for us back in that time Walkman. Like maybe you're listening to your Walkman because that would have been around in the early 80s.
But then, remember how much they used to go through batteries?
Correct. Yeah. Then you have your batteries. You have only so many tapes, or cassettes.
You can only bring like 5 of them because they took up so much space.
You need to bring a book or something to keep you busy. But to your point, like generally you're just experiencing the wide open roads in front of you, boring the crap out of you. And anytime you're not the driver, it feels like it takes like 2 times longer to get somewhere.
Well, and it's, people will talk about, the car games, I Spy, Out of State, that type of thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And, you think about it fondly and everything, but we did those not because they were fun. You did it out of sheer boredom. Let's just be honest. Yeah. I mean, I think people have the nostalgia about that, but let's just be honest. If you could have had a Game Boy back then, you would have taken a Game Boy over staring out the window looking for something that's green versus, doing that. We did it out of necessity, not because we wanted to. That's why everybody changed to like having their heads down on a screen. But I always think about that because like even for traveling down to like when we go to your house, an hour and a half drive, it's like they had to be occupied as kids. They just didn't know any different. And as parents, sometimes we took the easy path. We're like, okay, fuck it, just take it and shut up.
Well, yeah, simpler times.
Yeah,
compared to today, which I agree. Now everybody has a screen. Like it was a big thing if you got a DVD player that you put in your car.
Oh yeah, I remember when we first got ours for the kids. It was like
it's huge. Yeah. It's like this is fantastic. Now it keeps them busy, but in the end, now it's phones and stuff like that. But travel has definitely changed. All right, let's jump into some different topics today. Let's talk some sports events that are going on right now. So we got the Kentucky Derby today. Are you a big horse fan? Do you even actually? I'm curious. It happens every year, the Triple Crown. What's your interest in horse racing?
None.
So you don't even watch Kentucky Derby, let alone care.
I think it's one of those things where I think like most people, like I will, if it was on, I would watch it to see what happens. But again, it's to me, it's like the people who watch the Olympics, intently every 4 years. They don't know really what they're rooting for or who they're rooting for, except for the U.S. So I don't know. I see something like that is interesting. Like if there was somebody who can win the Triple Crown in 1 year, then I would be probably more interested in it. Kind of draw my attention a little bit more. But honestly, I think it's one of those things for me. If I'm not willing to watch something all the time, I'm not just going to watch it during the big championship event. It just doesn't have the appeal for me.
So I think that
changes. People like that.
Like I'm interested in those events. Like Formula One, I enjoy watching those when they're on. But the problem is when they're outside of the U.S., they're so goddamn late. Or either early in the morning, like for West Coast, they're usually at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., somewhere around there.
Right.
It's like, okay, I can't really watch this. I mean, I could, but I'm not that dedicated to your point. I'm not going to get up and watch them. But like when it comes out to Vegas or it's in Miami, I'll watch that. Kentucky Derby. So I placed 3 horse bets today. So I asked, so my son and his girlfriend enjoy watching horse racing when it's on. And so we always kid around and pick names. We have no clue. Like you can base it off the odds, and then the odds will give you a better representation of like, okay, my chances are better if I goes. But like for this one, I asked him, all right, who do you want? And so my son's like, I want the one called Great White. Just loves the name Great White, like Great White Shark.
Sure.
It's one that was pulled in last second, by the way, to this week. So it wasn't even supposed to be in the original 20. And then his girlfriend is more around, likes Albus because of Albus Dumbledore. So she wants Albus. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
See, that's how I would pick it. I would pick it the same way, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. And then I picked this other one who was more of a long shot, just for the hell of it. Like I picked them all just to place top 3. That's it. Not to win it all, but just to at least get in top 3.
Right.
But like for me, it's like you're right. Not every year I'll watch the Kentucky Derby. That's a fact. But with both my son and my son's girlfriend interested too, it just kind of adds a little bit of fun to it to try and see who wins. I may still miss the actual race watching it, but at least I'm interested to follow.
I forgot.
And then whoever wins this one, if they don't win the second leg of the Triple Crown, then it's done for me. Like I no longer care.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the Belmont and then the Preakness. If I remember the order.
I don't remember.
I always get those two mixed up. But whichever's the second leg, they have to win.
I can see that though. I mean, like you said, it's a thing where it's the three of you kind of doing this thing for fun, but a little bit serious. So that I totally understand. That makes total sense. But like you said, if the winner doesn't win the second leg, then your interest is lost.
Basically, yeah. I
think
only
it
pay
happens to a lot of
attention
people.
so much.
I'm sure that happens to the majority of people.
Yeah, very true. So let me ask you this. So, like I said, it's a big sports week. So you got the Triple Crown starting, or the Kentucky Derby to start the potential Triple Crown race. Yep. You have NBA and NHL playoffs going off. I'm not going to get too much into NHL because I know you don't pay attention at all.
Yeah.
So
I wish I did.
Although the Knights won,
really
the Knights have moved on to the second round for Vegas, so that's great. But for NBA, so interestingly enough, the NBA has a lot more game 6s and 7s for a first round, and specifically the number 1 seed, Detroit. Have you been keeping up with that? Did you see last night's?
Yep. Yeah. I watched them all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like Detroit and Orlando. So interesting stat that they brought up on the broadcast, which was interesting, was obviously Detroit is the number 1 seed, down 3-1. And then they've won the last 2 to tie it up to go 3-3 and push it to 7.
Right.
But the last time a team in the East has come back from a 3-1 deficit to win was in 2003, when Detroit beat Orlando and came back from down 3-1. Hence, exact same setup this time. So it'll be funny if that happens, primarily just because it's a replication of what happened in 2003.
Of course.
But what about your Cavs? What's going on with them? You think they're going to win their Game 7?
I think they can. I think they've had it pretty close up until, for the whole series. I actually, in the beginning, I had less hope than I do now. Last night, they needed the same shot that Kawhi did almost, except, it wasn't the corner 3. It was the same, like my son said, it was the same fucking rim that it bounced off of for Kawhi shot, where it bounced straight up and then eventually went
right through. Yep.
But no, I mean, again, to your point, it's not the 6 and 2 seed or whatever. They're the 4 and 5 seed. So, they're pretty even. I think I think that they're a good team. But I don't know how far they will progress. But again, I don't, is there really any team that's really dominating right now? I mean, aside from the Lakers, no.
I wish that were true. Even I know that's not true.
The
dominating team is clearly Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and that's the Lakers face next, by the way. So
it should
hopes are low because no Luka. Luka's not even going to be back in time for round 2. Don't even know when he's coming back.
And I mean, when you even look at the Lakers, I think it's just I don't even know how they won this series, because they just seem so. It was almost like they didn't really win. It was just neither team really. I don't know. It just seemed like.
What are you talking about? They won by over 20 in this final game in Houston, so they wanted it.
Houston looked so horrible, though. Even when KD played, they even looked even worse almost. When he did play game 2.
Yeah, he played game 2. They lost.
I mean. But even Oklahoma City, do you really see them as, in comparison to other teams, but do you really see them as like a very dominant team? Like if you would put them against other NBA championship teams, how would you think that they would fare?
Oh, they wouldn't fare well. I think it's just this. Yeah, I get what you're saying. In the current landscape of the NBA right now and the teams, yeah. But I always say this, right? Like if we try to compare, Like, what are we comparing against? Like, are we
I
comparing
would
based
say
on same
Denver's
rules,
team.
same guidelines? Like,
I would say this era. I would say even going back only back maybe
say
5 or 6
10
years
years for
at
this.
the most, at the very most 10 years.
Well, like
Where
the Warriors with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry would
I
easily
think
beat
they
this
would
team.
destroy this
Easily.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Not
think
even a doubt.
that Cavs team that in
Even the
016 or
LeBron Cavs that couldn't win titles would probably beat this team.
would destroy them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody wants to rag on SGA and his style. He's the most.
He's more of an old school player. He's not shooting threes. He
Yeah,
drives and he's more a perimeter shooter, which is more of an old school feel to him.
but and that's what I mean. But would you like? So yeah, I would equate to, and he plays good defense. So, but when you look at old school, though, I mean, would you put him up against any other point guards or any other guards of the last 25 years? Like, would you really say that he is elite, being a two-time? I mean, he's going to win the MVP, right? Most likely.
Probably, I would expect so.
Most likely. I mean, he has the odds on, and but does he really seem that dominating to be a two-time MVP? I mean, his stats, and you can say the team and everything like that, but when you just watch him play, it's not. He doesn't jump out to me as being Hall of Fame elite, like
I mean, he could
in the
be.
same breath.
Yeah. What we could be seeing, from my perspective, is similar to the Detroit Pistons back in the Bad Boys
The
era.
80s, yeah.
They only won 2 titles. Now they got to 3, but they only won 2 titles. First time they got there, they lost the Lakers. Then they beat the Lakers, and then they beat, I don't give a shit, whoever else it was. I can't remember. But that was it. And then that was a team that was supposedly a bunch of dominating players. I mean, you had Isaiah Thomas, you had Joe Dumars,
Mm-hmm.
you had Bill Laimbeer, who, just about as good as Chet is for, I mean, 2 totally different types of play, but based on
Right.
the eras, that's how the play was set up for those big men. But again, like, I consider them to be potentially a Detroit Pistons. They'll probably win back-to-back, and then that'll be it. It's just like Denver. People were like, when they won their title, I'm like, they're just going to be one of those one and done. Like, I didn't see their structure being strong enough to be a dynasty. They're just one of those that pop up randomly, get a title, and they're done. And that's exactly it. They lost in the first round of Minnesota without Anthony Edwards.
And the thing is, I think the thing is, when you look at Denver, I looked at them as Murray played above where he normally would play.
When they won that title, I agree.
When they won the title, he played well.
It's a good run. Yeah, it was
a
runs.
great run. It was one of those runs that it's not anything against Jokic. He's great for a reason offensively. But even like with SGA, just going back to him, and again, it's not to say that he's not a great player. Just because I don't think that he's at that level of other players in that position who have led their teams to championship doesn't mean that I think he's a bad player. I'm not one of those who thinks he sucks. He doesn't suck. He's a great player. It just, again, you're kind of watching this whole playoffs, especially. There's just no team that I'm like, God damn, they're really good.
Well, it's more about entertainment factor for me. Like, am I excited to watch them? Like, am I excited? And to your point, no, none of them I'm excited about. Even the Lakers coming into the Houston series, I wasn't expecting much. I figured if KD was healthy and everything, we probably would lose. It'd be a close series, but we'd probably lose. I mean, we won 4-2 in the series. It was, but we did better than I expected. Now, knowing full well, it's just like the whole play-in round. Like, everybody was battling to become the 8 seed. I'm like, to what? Get swept by Oklahoma City? Right? And that's exactly what happened. Phoenix got swept. But, there's just not that team or player that excites me. Like, I feel like right now the NBA, luckily LeBron for them is still at least producing, but he's no longer the marquee. But he's still legacy that helps bring in some of the fans who are interested to see how he progresses.
Definitely.
But outside of that, like, I know all these young guys are out there and there's lots of fans. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a fan base for him, but like, there's no good story that every year you're thinking about, this is going to be the great story. Let's see how they progress. This person is like dominating. Like, to your point, I don't know if SGA he's not a dominant player. Like, he's not going to take over a game and win it for you. or at least I haven't seen that.
He's not that
But he's
marquee
a
player.
great
He's
player
not
for his
Kobe
team.
Bryant. He's not
No,
not the
he's
person
not.
that you watch and play like, God damn, is he good? Like
Right.
there, like you said, there. Yeah, I know people will like argue about the stats and all this other stuff. I'm like, again, stats are against today's competition. So if I think the overall landscape is a lower bar, then your stats should be good.
Right.
You know, I mean, but I think like I'm not sure if I brought this up before, but like it's just watching the NBA, watching especially and watching playoff games where you think that this should be the top level. When you really watch it, like the thing that just stands out in my head is where they show like shot selection of this past year versus like this that heat map, and it's all around either the 3-point range and all around the rim. And then when you watch it play, that's all you see is the ball being passed around the perimeter, and then somebody does a three,
Right.
or they try to get inside and try to finish that way. And it's like again, when you watch the game, it's not just the style of play has become kind of boring, but I think even the players have become kind of in that type of mold.
I
Where
agree.
you just don't get that. Look, I'm sorry, but seeing someone get posterized is just still one of the reasons why I watch basketball. I like the athleticism. I like seeing somebody like a Kobe do something that shouldn't be humanly, physically possible to do. And maybe that's me being old school or me being stuck in the past, but that's why you watch sports is to be
Yeah, it's
entertained.
more about excitement, but that brings excitement to you, right? Like you jump up, you get excited by that experience or seeing that happen. It's just like when Steph jacks up threes from out deep that you don't think anybody should be hitting, and he does. Like I just laugh. I laugh because it's just fun to watch that he does that, and the defense is right there, and they still can't do anything. But nobody else is really doing that, so it's like it's unique in that sense.
See, and no, and I totally agree with you in that aspect because it's not just you don't like the deep ball. No, like if you bring up a Curry, it's like the shot that he made in the Olympics, right?
Oh yeah,
To seal the win. The fact that he had two big guys in his face and he fucking locked it up to the rafters from a deep three still with these guys in his
fadeaway.
face.
Yeah.
He didn't pat. Yeah, he didn't. He had KD and LeBron open and he still took the shot because he knew he was going to fucking make it. That is impressive. That's like one of those you're like, God damn. Right. So
Right, and those you can rewatch because for me at
shouldn't
least, it
happen.
seems to
Yeah.
bring back the same feeling. Even though I know the outcome, just seeing it is just fantastic to see every time because it's
Yeah.
just amazing. To your point, it's out. It's just you don't see that, and it's just
Mhm.
crazy. And so those, to your point, posters. When someone gets posterized, depending on who it is, it's just
Mhm.
it's fun to watch. You just don't see it enough. But to your point, like nobody plays with their back to the basket anymore. Like that level of game,
Right.
which was the bulk of it early. For most of basketball up until when the three really started taking over, is that no one plays their back to the basket. I mean, some big men still do, but they don't learn to do it that way. Everybody's about, just take
Perimeter.
threes, deep, deep, deep. And so, yeah, it lacks. The other thing that was interesting is the NBA this week posted that this viewership is up, or it's the highest viewership in 33 years across all streaming devices. I'm like, okay, I'd love to see what numbers they're using to say that though, because they didn't give numbers. They're just saying it is. Well, okay. If you say someone turned the channel on and then left and only lasted 2 minutes and you count that as a view, then yeah, you'd get a lot of views.
Well, and also remember, 30 years ago, it was all estimates. They
It was all
extrapolated
Nielsen,
it.
actually. No, it was all
It was all
Nielsen.
Nielsen. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, but you came up with those
This is
numbers
all
because
estimates
you
with
just kept them.
streaming. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, yeah.
Like how you measured it 30 years ago and how you measure it today,
Correct.
they
Yes.
can't be the same. They can't be the same. But
I agree.
I don't know. I said I think the point that we're both trying to make is also sports is supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to. I don't care. I mean, I guess I do care who wins. If it's my team, I do care. Let me rephrase that. But I'm not going to be interested as much if the Cavs were the one this year. I'd be like, oh, great, that was cool. But it wouldn't compare to when they won in 2016 or another sport. But to me, sports is about entertainment. It's about fun factor. It's not just about the numbers or whatever, or oh well, there's this stat, there's that stat. It's like when you watch the game, do you actually watch it and can you watch two random teams, two teams that you don't care about, right? Whether it's playoffs or whatever, not thinking about how it affects your team. Like you're a Western team, so
Right.
if you're watching somebody in the East play and you don't, it's or the Orlando game or with Detroit, like you don't care about either one of those teams. You don't care about the outcome of it. Can you watch it and be entertained? That's where I think when you look at a sport and everything like that, I'm always going to watch the Cavs. You're going to watch the Lakers. That's going to happen whether I like the NBA or not. And it's just because it's kind of ingrained in us. But Can you watch, like I said, one that doesn't affect you and have it be fun? And the answer is, honestly, with the NBA, no, right now. It's not entertaining to me.
Right.
And so I guess the question is what change do you think they can make that would make the game kind of change how it's being played, that you could see as a positive
for NBA specifically?
Yeah, just NBA.
I don't know. I mean, the problem is there's so many areas that contribute to kind of the view of the league, of the play now.
Mm-hmm.
One is just, there's no real dynamic players who can really attack the basket as much.
Because they're not valued.
No,
well, think about it.
But there's a few, but they'll always settle it for threes. Like too many times you see guys run down the court 4 seconds into a 24-second shot clock, jacking up a three.
Yep. Or they're right by the rim where they
yes.
It's barely contested, and they pass it to somebody in the three.
Yeah, they drive all the way in. They could lay up, and they kick it out for a three shot that gets missed.
Oh, he's open. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I look at, I think a great example is Anthony Edwards.
Right.
He's kind of started that path where there's a joke about, is he Michael Jordan's son type thing, because he had that play style, but then he decided it wasn't worth it. And so I think that there are players. I mean, there's no reason why there can't be somebody who can play like that, but it's just de-emphasized. It's kind of like the opposite of, well, Jordan couldn't hit the three. No, it just wasn't emphasized back then. So he even himself said that he didn't practice it. It's not part of his game because it wasn't part of the game back then. Yeah. So I've always wondered, like, how I think any way that they can de-emphasize the three, either make it so that's easier to contest. Maybe I've always thought if they would change the 3-point line, get rid of the side three and make the 3-point line like
push it further back,
push it back like another foot.
Yeah, I mean they could do that. Steph will still make
rid of the whole
that
side.
Would limit the amount.
Get rid of the side though. Like get rid of those corner ones.
The arch itself should have cut off much sooner than the sideline.
Right. So there is no more sideline threes, and you make the arch like another 6 inches or a foot deeper. So you're right. Like so, all of a sudden it makes a three not nearly as valuable. Is the only way that I can see them changing, or they allow for different defenses that would make the three harder to get open on. I'm not really sure what defensive changes they can do, but I think that the only way that they're going to do it is by somehow de-emphasizing the three, doing something to lower it, to make it so that mid-range shots are more valuable. And I think that would actually
if they allowed zone defenses, those aren't technically allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a center just sit in the center of the box without coming out at least every 4 seconds.
Right.
Otherwise, it's illegal defense. Now, I don't know if, to be honest, that's going to solve the problem, but at least if you had run a zone and you had 3 guys up top and 2 on the box below, no one in the center, you could at least kill the 3 potentially because you'd have quicker recovery to get the shooters. But, who knows? Like, there's no quick fix.
It would make it more interesting. I don't want to kill the 100%.
You're not going to. They're going to keep jacking it up, but yeah.
Right. I just wanted it to be a thing where it's just not as right now, like you said, jacking up the 3, where people are missing gimmies almost, not saying giving up. Actually, no, we've seen people actually just give up on a layup. Oh, he's open. I'm not going to get the automatic 2. I'm going to kick it out for the possible 3.
Yeah.
That to me is just, I don't know how anybody can justify that. That just doesn't, again, I understand why it's important today. I'm not saying that it's not important today. Any team would be stupid not to do that. It's not that. I think that it should be somehow de-emphasized to the point where it just wouldn't be important or players wouldn't choose to do that.
Yeah.
But that's just
well, I agree. So last thing on sports, then I want to jump to something else. Yeah. Just real quick. You're not a soccer fan either, so I'm not really going to ask you too much on that. But you know of Wrexham, correct?
Yeah.
The Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, or Rob Mack now. He's no longer McElhenney. So just heads up, as of today, this team had gone 3 straight years of promotions throughout the league, always promoting up to the next division. Not today. Unfortunately, they tied. They finished 7th. They need to be 6th to make the playoffs. And so that ends their streak of 3 in a row. Heartbreaking for you, I know.
It's a good story, though. But I mean, isn't that kind of unprecedented, them coming up?
Oh, yeah, it was.
How many teams have ever done that?
I can't even remember when that has actually happened. So they're going to still sit one level below Premier League. So maybe next year they'll build their team up a bit more and have a better chance. But yeah, so that dream is over. So I just figured I'd bring that up real quick. Like really end on a sour spot for the Wrexham fans. All right.
I don't know how it can be sour because, I mean, that's just one of those things where
they're way above than where they were 4 years ago.
The right players, but yeah.
Agreed.
The change is dramatic, so.
All right.
It's a good story. I appreciate that story.
Well, good. I'm glad you do. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. You of all people specifically.
Oh, me of all people. I like a good story like that.
All right. So now I want to do some quiz time. It's back to our segment of Can Len Guess This? Although I'll probably play along with one aspect of it when I get to it. I have music. So this week we're going to focus on 1980s game music. So video game music from the 80s. Oh, so you will hear the song or the sound, and then we'll guess the. But I'm going to play along. So I actually grabbed this from somewhere else. I didn't listen to it all. And I didn't break it up. So it's one long stream we'll just kind of listen to and guess as we go along.
Oh, there you go. At least I can look as... You're going to make me look stupid, but still.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, no, I'm dead. I'm done.
But before we do that, I'm going to ask a couple questions for fun. Let's see if you can guess the game by just a clue. Like the clue would be a yellow character eats dots while being chased by ghosts.
Don't know. Does he have a bow or not? Is it male or female?
I just said a yellow character eats dots while being chased by ghosts. I didn't say yellow character with a bow. I just said a yellow character.
But it could be. But
what do you think the answer is?
I don't know.
Fucking stupid. All right.
No.
I'm not even going to answer it. How about this one? You dig tunnels and inflate enemies until they pop.
Dig dug. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
I hated that game. I hated when you would get stuck in them. There's always that point where like you're trying to inflate them, and there's like for some reason like it would have like that skip. I don't know if that ever happened.
Yeah.
Like there'll be like that little stall, and then the other ghost comes in and kills you. I always hated that. I don't know if it was just me and how I played, or it was game mechanics, but there always seemed to be like if you push the button too quickly, that would happen.
True.
I don't know.
All right, one more for you, because these are super easy, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time. A chef climbs ladders while avoiding angry food ingredients.
Oh, God, I love Burger Time.
Yep. Always a fun one.
Honestly, that might have been one of my favorite games of all time. Like, in terms of arcade games, I always forget about that one, but that was one of my all-time favorites, was Burger Time.
Yep.
That and Tapper.
Nice. All right,
Tapper Tapper was fun.
Oh, Tapper's fun. Now, remember,
I love Tapper.
Tapper originally had Budweiser. And then later on, they changed it to root beer.
Because that all of a sudden wanted me to drink beer or something.
Which is fine. You still couldn't drink Budweiser as a kid, but it's fine, It's not like you had access to it. All right, so this one I want you to name the console based on the clues.
Ah, shit.
This should be easy. We'll start with an easy one for you because you should know this. Sega's 8-bit competitor to the NES.
Are you talking about Sonic, or are you talking about the game?
Sega's or the console? Sega's 8-bit.
No, Genesis was Master System.
Sega Master System, yes.
Master System, yeah.
You should know this because your brother lives and died by that system.
He loves Sega, yeah.
He loves Sega Master System specifically.
Yeah, he's a Sega fanboy.
He is, yes. Oh, easily. All right, here's another one. Wood grain front, joystick with one red button.
Wood grain front.
Think about the joystick with one red button.
Yeah, I'm thinking, was this that? No, it's Atari 2600. Did it have wood grain front?
It did, yeah. Just on that one panel where you put the cartridges in. It was wood grain front.
It was a weird friend.
Oh, and it had it along the border too, to some degree. I take that back. Yeah.
It's just funny because even though I know you're right, for some reason I can't visualize it.
True. All right.
But I know you're right. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. This time, let's see. One last one I want to do was 80s arcade catchphrases or words, and then guess the game. Okay.
Okay.
The character says Hadouken.
Really? Street Fighter? You're gonna say Street Fighter? That's another.
Yeah, we'll say Street Fighter 2 because technically it was Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. Because Street Fighter 1 had the single punch button.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Until Street Fighter 2 had the 3. That game, I think that game more than any other game I remember in an arcade was just where they had to put it in arcades by itself because so many people stood around it.
Right.
Remember that? I mean, I remember us going to San Mateo to Fashion Island Shopping Center, and it was almost like they put it in an island after when it really first came out. Like they just had to put it on an island because, and there were like I don't know how many quarters up on the marquee. That game was
lots of them.
If you were into arcades, that was everybody played it.
Well, especially fighter.
And it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was everywhere. It was in one constant. Any place that had arcade games had Street Fighter.
Right. All right. One more for you. Then we're going to go into this to listen to the music. All right. Finish him.
Or Mortal Kombat. You didn't say it right. Okay.
Oh, and we have background noise of dogs yelling. Apparently.
It's probably somebody at your door.
No, it's just my wife letting them out. So there you go. All right, so here we go. Now, let's jump into this. I'm just going to play it. Once you hear it, you can feel free to guess it. And then honestly, I don't know how I'm going to give you the answer. We're just going to know it or we won't. So we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So for those listening along, play along. If you say it, great for you. And if you're unsure, you'll have to look it up. Yeah. Here we go. First one. So Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's Pac-Man, yeah. What was the difference in the sound between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man?
Nothing really.
That's definitely Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's the one where... Wait. I know which one that is. Wait.
Which one?
Isn't that... I don't want to say Starfighter.
Missile Command. Missile Command.
Missile Command, yeah.
Yeah. What's this one?
That's easy. That's Donkey Kong.
Exactly.
I know this one.
Shit, I don't know that one either. Tapper, maybe? No.
We know that. Oh God, I loved and hated that game.
Defender.
Defender, yeah, because that's you had to stay up, you had to elevate, like Joust. It was like Joust, where you had to. I hated that. I was never good at that.
Next one. Oh.
Was that Space Invaders? No.
Centipede.
Centipede. Thank you. Yeah. Centipede. I knew it was a dropping down one.
Yeah.
Galaga.
Yeah.
Or wait,
probably
no.
Galaga. I'm almost certain it's probably Galaga.
Yeah.
Because the music, Galaxian was slightly different.
Yeah.
Wait.
What is this one? Is this Star? No, I Live.
Sinistar?
Sinistar? Is that Sinistar?
No, this is Joust. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's definitely Joust.
That's the way.
Yeah. Joust and Defender, I always suck at. Is that it?
You answered it earlier. Do you know it or not?
It's Big Bang.
Yeah. Well, say the answer, dude.
I know. I was
playing along.
I was enjoying the music. Oh, what is this? What was that?
I'm trying to. I know the game. I'm trying to remember the name. Hubert.
Oh yeah. Keyword. You're right. Oh, pole position.
Yep. There you go.
Man, I tried to play that when we were at Player One. It is not driving. But yeah, it was so tough to play.
Oh, Tron.
You should know that.
Oh,
no. Is it the
Battle Zone, the tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tron used similar sounds for their tank one.
Yeah.
Oh, Donkey Kong Jr.
An arcade?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr.
Huh. I don't remember it.
What? Really? Oh.
Oh, what is this? I know that.
This is an arcade game. This is an 80s arcade game. Atari 2600. Pitfall.
Oh, okay. Good call.
I'm trying to turn this up, but I can't. This is track and field.
Yeah.
So for those who didn't hear,
yeah.
it's basically a track guy running and then jumping.
Which you used to be really good at until they put the little,
blockers. Yeah.
Yeah. But that stopped people from using the pencil trick.
Yeah. Dude, oh my God, I know that game.
It seems so generic.
Oh.
Oh, Spy Hunter.
Yeah, that was a fun
I love that game. That was one of my favorite games.
Yep.
Spy Hunter. I love that game.
Oh.
Is that the
Oh my God,
video one?
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
I kept thinking Dirk, and he's in it.
Don't know.
No clue. Yeah.
Neither do I.
Sucks that the volume's low. I don't think people will hear it all. But...
I heard it. I just don't know it.
Oh. Pong?
I would assume so.
Could be. Yeah, it sounds like Pong. It's only... No, there's no other sounds, though, like hitting the bricks.
Yeah.
Could be.
But then you would have heard it. Remember when it would hit like a ton of bricks? Like it would get in that little groove and just start breaking them all.
This one I had no clue. All right, let's do this last one.
Yeah. Year Kung Fu?
Year Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
I love that one. It was one
so do I.
Back and forth.
Yeah, jumping up and over. That. The girl just...
Yeah, I used to play that. I used to like it.
Oh. Castle Crashers. No, not Castle Crashers. It's the bear who goes around and collects the dots. It's rollerball. It's castles. Crystal Castles. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that Duck Hunt?
Oh, possibly. Oh, I love this game. My cousin and I used to play this at the pizza parlor all the time. Excite Bike.
Oh, Excite Bike. Okay, I remember that one. Yeah, I don't remember. That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh. I want to say Marble Madness.
I don't remember. I don't remember how it sounded.
I'm guessing Marble Madness. I can go back and check, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh. Come on. You know this one. 4-player game. The Elf, the Wizard.
Oh, is this... I don't know. Gauntlet.
Gauntlet, yeah. Gauntlet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Red elf, green elf is about to die.
Your life force is running out.
I still quote that to this day. Like, if I'm really hungry and I'm fading, I'm like, "Green elf is about to die."
I do that too. My life
Green elf
force is running out.
deadly.
You shot the food. That's still funny. That was a player one as well. Unfortunately, only 2 of the 4 controllers worked.
Not only that, but because you had unlimited tokens, it takes away from the like when I played it, it was just because you had to be careful when you played it before. Remember, you had.
Yeah, that's true. You have no. You're just. It's just more about. Let's see how many levels I can get through before I get bored.
Yeah.
In that experience,
which is what happened.
Yeah. Dude, so there we go. Quiz done. Well done.
I did a lot better than I thought I would have.
Yeah, there's a few we couldn't remember the names to. Like, I knew most of the sounds. There's only one I think I heard that I didn't have a clue what game that was tied to. But everything else, I just couldn't remember the names. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned Sinistar. I know you love playing that game a lot too. I'd always come to the arcade. You'd be playing that one. Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me. I mean, it was just one of those. It's such a jump scare. You
knew
it was
bullshit too, because goddamn tank mines would take your whatever it was, the bomb diamonds, or you needed to go build Sinistar. You put all this effort, you get like 5 floating out there. You're trying to pick them all up. They're grabbing like 3 of them. And then Sinistar says he's alive. He's coming after you, and then boom.
And then when he would, right before he gets on the screen, he does that roar,
the loud scream,
the shit out of you, and you would panic every single time. You would still panic. You knew it was happening.
Shoot into the screen out of either left, right, up, down, whatever direction he was coming from. Would just fire in there, and then you're like, oh shit! Start running quickly, and then hopefully you had all the bombs you needed to blow him up. Otherwise, you were dead.
Yeah. If you had to still get bombs after he was alive, it was. Not
game over.
Impossible, but yeah, it was pretty much game over.
Do you remember the game Crossbow? You used to play that a lot.
Yeah.
That one I wish I could see again. I enjoyed that too because you always had to shoot either doors down or some chains so doors would drop so that the group can continue to wander through. Like, they were simple games in many ways, but they were a lot of fun.
Yeah. There were a lot of times there were the games that were old, but you would every once in a while you I don't know what to play. I'm just going to play this. Yeah. Like one of them was like Moon Patrol.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was one of the sounds we heard, actually. That was Moon Patrol.
Was that Moon Patrol? Which one?
That was the one where you kept firing, and then you heard boom, and then it'd come back. It's because it's dropping into the hole or hitting a rock or whatever it was.
Yeah. I used to love that game. Yeah. Yeah, that was another game. But again, it's like just being as old as we are now, it's like I remember it, but I don't really I remember it in a snapshot, but just not as full gameplay. How much you progress or what you would do.
But I feel like Moon Patrol was one of the early games I got for, I think, my Commodore.
I think so.
One of those, which was fun.
I remember I had it on the console too. Yeah.
Yeah, the console definitely. But nowadays they're doing all these relaunches of the original, like the Commodore 64, but it's like a small console replica with 30 games in it. Yep. So you always have those, which I have.
Then you have if you look at even though the handheld ones now, the Abernicks.
Yeah, that's true.
With all the emulator and the arcade ones, so those are fun.
Yep,
those are good for travel. Another good one for travel. We have that.
It is.
Replacing Super Puzzle Fighter on it. On one of our flights.
True.
It was fun.
I still play Tetris.
We'll play Luminous. That's one of our all-time favorite puzzle
games.
Oh,
yeah. That's a good one, too. Yeah,
that's a classic.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Well, it's been a great show. Hope people enjoyed our testing, our quiz segment, as well as our little sports talk and good old airlines. All fun stuff. Yeah. It's all relevant in some form. Hey, look, we're Gen X. We don't really care.
We have no attention span.
Yeah. We're just going to talk about what we want to talk about. And we'll hope everybody enjoys. And if you don't, we still appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
Again, follow, like, share. Feel free to comment as well.
Yeah.
And we do have a YouTube channel. So feel free, and Instagram for that matter. So you can catch us on both.
Little clips. And if you don't want to listen to us for a full hour, then you can just listen to us in 30-minute segments.
Exactly.
30 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
Yeah, hopefully. Pretty much. All right. Everybody have a great week. We should be back next week. We'll see how that goes. But if not, we will be back as soon as we are available. Definitely soon. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.